Now the next point in the binomial theorem is about general term and middle terms in the expansion of binomial expression. So let's recall this expansion. A plus b the whole raised to n, for any positive integer, it is nc0 into a raised to n plus nc1 into a raised to n minus 1 into b, nc2 a raised to n minus 2 into b square, and so on. What about the last one? Ncn into b raised to n. Right? This we know, this is the expansion of binomial expression. We know very well, we have used number of times. Now here, if you observe, this is the first term, remember. There you have here nc0. In the second term you have nc1. In third term you have nc2. So in third term 2, in second term it is 1, in first term it is 0 here, and this is n plus 1th term. Total number of terms is n plus 1. So your total terms on the RHS that I already mentioned earlier, n plus 1. This index plus 1. Now I want to write the formula for t r plus 1 term. Right? This is which term? R plus 1th term, remember. This is R plus 1th term in the above expression. So here, if you observe, this is equals to, if you have first term then 0, second term then 1. So here I must have one less index. So NCR, this index will be one less than this, right? And once you have 1, then a raised to n minus 1. If you have 2, then a raised to n minus 2. So here what I'll get? A raised to n minus r. And total power is always n here. So if you have 1, this is 1. If you have 2, then 2. So here it must be raised to r. So this is the formula or expression for which term? R plus 1th term, remember. This is the expression for which term? R plus 1th term. NCR into a raised to n minus r into b raised to r. If you want the first term, put r equals to 0. Right? If I put r equals to 0, you will get the first term, this one. Put r equals to 0. So what I'll get? T1. What is T1? That is nc0 a raised to n minus 0, that is n b raised to 0, that is 1. So you see, you are getting this first term. Getting me? So this left hand side here, this represent which term? R plus 1th term. If I want the second term, for example this one, I need to take what? Now r equals to 1. So T2, for example, I'm putting r equals to 1. So I'll get this. Put r equals to 1 here. So what I'll get here? NC 1 less 1 a raised to n minus 1 here. So you are getting this. And r equals to 1, so b raised to 1, that is this. This is the second term. So this is very important formula we'll use in the next exercise effectively. Right? This is just by observation. 0 a raised to n, here 1 a raised to n minus 1, 2 a raised to n minus 2, and the sum of these two is always n, right? So that's not difficult here, how to write this formula. NCR into a raised to n minus r into b raised to r, but this index is one less than this, remember. If I'm writing, for example, T4, then I must have here NC3 into a raised to, what I'll get? N minus 3 into b raised to 3, remember, that way. Fine? So we'll use this to find what? Any term of the given binomial expression. This is r plus 1 term in where? In a plus b the whole raised to n. In this expansion, remember. So one is this formula. One more thing here, we want to write the middle term. The next one, that is, we want to write middle term here. Middle term. Now there are two cases. The first case is, suppose given power is even power, right? In a plus b the whole raised to n, suppose this is even power. Okay, so in that case, a plus b the whole raised to n will have how many terms? N plus 1. That is how many terms? Odd number of terms, remember, odd terms. So if this is 2, then there will be 3 terms. Getting me? If this is, for example, 4, then there will be how many terms? 5 terms, like this. If n equals to 4, then there will be 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this will be the middle term. Right? This plus this plus this plus this. How many terms? 5 terms, because n plus 1, that's the number of terms, So here you will be having 5 terms. So this is middle term. Which term? Middle term, remember. This is which number of term? Third term, remember. Right? That is which number of term? Here, third term. So here the middle term in this case, when n is even, the middle term is nothing but which term? That is, if it is even, this way you can remember, you do half of it, n by 2 plus 1th term. That's the middle term. Right? If it is even, you can do by 2. So n by 2 plus 1th term. That's the middle term. Now use this formula. Suppose n is 4. So 4 by 2, 2 plus 1. So third term will be the middle term. Fine. If I take n equals to 6, one more even number, 6. Even number. So total number of terms will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So which will be middle term? This one. This is a middle term. Now which one? This one. This is a fourth number. So if you use this formula, middle term equals to n by 2 plus 1th term, remember. Fine. Now n by 2 means 6 by 2. 3 plus 1. That is which term? Fourth term. Fourth term will be the middle term, that is T4, and then you can use the earlier formula which I have stated. So this is case number 1, especially for what? When n is even. When this power is even power. In the case number 2, let me write the second case. There n is, if n is an odd number, right? N is which number? Odd number. This number is odd. So in the expansion of a plus b whole raised to n, there is n plus 1. This is odd plus 1. So you have even terms. Even terms. The total number of terms will be even. There you had odd terms. Remember, like 5 terms. Here you had total 7 terms. Now here you have even terms. Okay. Suppose I have taken, for example, n equals to, let's take 3. So there will be 4 terms and 3 plus 1. So total 4 terms, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So both will be the middle term. These are called middle terms, remember. These both terms will be the middle term here. There are 2 terms which are middle terms in this case. Now how do we find in general here? Now remember, here given number is odd here. So we'll do first plus 1 and then by 2, remember. So here middle terms are, these are the middle terms. Odd number है तो पहले plus 1 कर दो and then you do by 2. So now plus 1 करेंगे तो 1 हो जाएगा. तो 1 is this term. Comma, next वाला term. Next means what? You add 1. So n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. Getting me? This is not difficult to remember. I repeat. See, this number is odd number here. So odd number में plus 1 कर दो. 3 plus 1, 4 by 2. That is which term हुआ? Second term. And next term, that is second and third, which are nothing but 2 middle terms. Fine. So one you need to remember this. If it is even. Even है तो directly half करके plus 1 कर दो. Odd में पहले plus 1, then half and then next, remember. Got it? Middle term in these 2 cases. Let me take one more example here. For example, I have a plus b the whole raised to what, 5. This is odd number, so total terms will be 6. Total terms will be here 6 in this, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So these are the two middle terms. Remember, middle terms are this. Which are the middle terms? Middle terms are this, third and fourth. How do we find the middle terms? अब formula याद करो. Middle terms are, what's the formula? Plus 1 कर दो, तो 6 by 2 plus 1 and the next one. This is what? This is nothing but 3 plus 1. Here 6, sorry, the whole plus 1. This is nothing but which one? Third one. And the next, that is 6 by 2 plus 1. Got it? Now this is nothing but which one? Third term. And this is nothing but what? Next, which is fourth one. These terms are the middle terms in the expansion. Fine. You can use the formula or directly by observation also you can do. Okay. Sometimes we have the word, one more word, that is the term independent of x. Term independent of x. Independent of x means what? Only constant term. It's free from x. Only constant. Only constant. That is, power of x is 0. Remember, only constant means what? That is x raised to 0 अंदर होना चाहिए. X raised to 0 means constant. Remember, term independent of x means what? Constant term. Only constant. Only constant means what? It should be free from it. Should be free from x means what? Power of x should be 0. Remember. So that terminology also we are going to use. For example, if I expand this, x plus 1 upon x the whole square. Suppose I'm expanding this. You can do it directly. So what is the expansion? X squared plus 2 into x into 1 upon x plus 1 by x squared. So x squared plus 2 plus 1 upon x squared. So you see, this term doesn't involve the variable x. So this is called constant term. Constant term. Constant term means what? There the power of variable x is 0. X wala term nahi hai, because x raised to 0 is always 1. There is no term involving x. So this is called constant term. Right? Independent of x means it's free from x, means it's a constant term. Only constant ही होना चाहिए. देखो यहाँ पे only constant है. This term involve variable x, this term involve variable x. It means the power of variable x must be 0. This is always 1, you know, it's a constant. Okay, so now we did two things. Number one, that is the general term, tr plus 1 term, ncr into a raised to n minus r into b raised to r. ये दोनों का डिफरेंस फर्स्ट पावर में होगा, दूसरे पावर में ये नंबर होगा. दैट इज 1. देन वी हैव रिटन मिडल टर्म्स. राइट, मिडल टर्म के लिए एक फॉर्मूला है. इफ इट इज इवन है तो डायरेक्टली हाफ करके प्लस 1 कर दो. ऑड नंबर है तो दो मिडल टर्म्स आएंगे, तो पहले प्लस 1 करके बाद में हाफ एंड द नेक्स्ट. दिस इज अ वे ऑफ डूइंग. एंड देन दिस इंडिपेंडेंट टर्म. Right. With this information, I think now we'll go for next exercise 8.2. Right? This is all in all about the chapter. We have this much only. Now we move to exercise 8.2. So here exercise, let's write 8.2. The first question here. What's the question? Find the coefficient of. To find, this is a question. To find, what you want to find? Coefficient of x raised to 5 in this expansion. Which expansion? X plus 3 the whole raised to 8. Right, in this. To want to get the coefficient of x raised to 5. That means x raised to 5 के बाजू में जो number आ रहा है, that's called the coefficient. Like here, what's the coefficient of x square? 1. What's the coefficient of 1 by x square? 1. And what's the constant term? 2, remember. So we want here a number, a constant as a coefficient of what? X raised to 5. Now here the one way is this. You can do like this. Remember, I'm expanding by binomial theorem. Remember, by binomial theorem, let me expand here. See, I'm doing like this. You know how to do. 8c0 x raised to 8. 8c1 x raised to 7 into 3 raised to 1. You know very well now, right? You must know now at least. 8c2 x raised to, 6, 3 square. Plus, what about the next one? 8c3 x raised to 5 into, next one is what? 3 raised to 3, remember, 2, then here 3, and so on, right? You can write the last one directly, 8c8, 3 raised to 8. Now where we are interested in this, remember, हम लोग को तो इसका coefficient में interest है, right? So just concentrate here. From these I can write coefficient of x raised to 5, that is उसके बाजू में जितना भी constant है, क्या constant है? One is 8c3 into क्या है? 3 raised to 3, right? हो गया. Now you need to simplify. Coefficient of x raised to 5 means what? Constant with x raised to 5. तो ये पूरा constant है, 3 raised to 3 and 8c3. What is 8c3? 8 factorial upon 8 minus 3, which is 5 factorial into 3 factorial into 3 raised to 3. I'm just simplifying. What is this? 8 into 7 into 6. 5 factorial will get cancelled, no? You know. 3 factorial is 6 into here 3 cube. What is 3 cube? You know, it's nothing but 27 here. So this will get cancelled. Here 56 into 27. You just multiply this, you will get the 1512. This is nothing but the coefficient. Fine. This is one way. I did it directly, remember. Now I'll show you how it can be done alternatively. Now odd, this can be done like this also, using this TR plus 1 formula. TR plus 1 equals to, NCR a raised to n minus r into b raised to r. Okay, I'm using this. So TR plus 1 equals to NCR. What is A? A means first. That is x raised to n. I know n is 8. So let me write 8 here. So here you will get the 8 minus r. N is 8, remember, power. And B, what is B? That is nothing but the 3 raised to what? R. I've just used the formula. I wrote the value of A, how much? X. I wrote the value of B, how much? 3. So x raised to 8 minus r into 3 raised to r. Fine. Now what I want here coefficient of x raised to 5, right? Coefficient of x raised to 5. That means A क्या होना चाहिए? 5 होना चाहिए. Right, understood. Coefficient of x raised to 5 equals to x raised to 8 minus r क्या होना चाहिए? 5 होना चाहिए. It means r कितना होना चाहिए? If I compare this, r should be 3. R should be 3, remember. I got the value of r. Now place here. So आपको T4 मिल जाएगा when you put r equals to 3. What is this? 8c4. Sorry, 8c3 here. R is 3. This is x raised to, here r is 3, so x raised to 5 into 3 raised to how much? 3. So what's the coefficient of x raised to 5? That is this much, right? So if I write here now, finally, let me write here coefficient of x raised to 5, that is this much. How much? 8c3 into 3 raised to 3, and simplify this. That's what I wrote here, right? Now if you feel that this is easier, by writing some terms you predict and write it, and if you feel that by this NCR formula, I mean the TR plus 1 formula, if you feel that this is easier, you can do this way. Choice is yours, whichever way you like. In some of the question, I think this will be easier. If you feel that that expression is very simple, you can do like this also. Whichever way you do, both are correct, remember. Okay? So now I'll go to next question. Okay. Question number 2 there. Question is same. you want to find, what do we want to find? To find coefficient of a raised to 5 b raised to 7. You want this, okay? In which expression? In the expansion of what? A minus 2b the whole raised to 12. Okay, so I'll use the TR formula. We use this, the TR plus 1 formula. TR plus 1 equals to, you know, NCR into A raised to n minus R into B raised to R. What is n? 12. What is A? That is A. What is B? That is minus 2b, remember. So I'll use this. So your TR plus 1 equals to your 12CR B 12CR. What is A? A hai. So here your 12 minus R. What is B? That is minus 2b. Minus 2b raised to R. Fine? Okay. Now I can just rewrite like this: 12CR A raised to 12 minus R into, you can write minus 2 raised to R, just separating the powers, into b raised to r. ये आप जानते हैं. If you have ab the whole raised to n, you can write like this equals to a raised to n into b raised to n. ये प्रॉपर्टी आपको पता है. इंडिविजुअल पावर आप लगा सकते हैं, you know it. So I've applied power to minus 2, I've applied power to b. अब क्या होना चाहिए? Now you know what is to be done now. a का पावर कितना होना चाहिए? पावर ऑफ a should be 5. b का पावर कितना होना चाहिए? 7 होना चाहिए. So for coefficient of a raised to 5 into b raised to 7, this should be 5, remember. a raised to 5 है ना, तो 12 minus r 5 होना चाहिए, और a क्या होना चाहिए? 7 होना चाहिए. तो यहाँ से भी आपको r बराबर 7 मिल जाएगा. Here also get the r बराबर 7. So आपको r equals to 7 मिल गया. Fine? Now I'm writing directly. Therefore, coefficient of which one? A raised to 5 into b raised to 7 equals to r 7 है आपके पास, remember. So मैं यहाँ पे 7 रख रहा हूँ. I don't want to write this. ये दोनों नहीं चाहिए, कोएफिशिएंट चाहिए. तो what I'll get? 12C7 a रेस्ट टू कितना हो जाएगा? 5 हो जाएगा. वो लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है क्योंकि आपको कोएफिशिएंट चाहिए. कांस्टेंट टर्म ही लिखने का. कोएफिशिएंट मीन्स कांस्टेंट टर्म, इतना ही. इसमें r का वैल्यू प्लेस करना है, विच इज़ हाउ मच? 7. सो 12C7 इंटू minus 2 raised to how much? 7. Now the question is just simplification. How do we simplify 12C7? 12 factorial upon 12 minus 7, which is 5 factorial, into 7 factorial. This is minus 2 raised to 7. That you can simplify. So simplify this. I leave it to you. You write 12 factorial till 7 factorial, remember. I'm sure now you can do this. Okay, your final answer will be negative because you have minus 2, remember. So minus 2 raised to 7. So your final answer will be negative, and just get the answer. Not a big task for you to simplify this. Fine? Okay. Question number 3. Write the general term in the expansion of third and fourth. The expression is this: x square minus y the whole raised to 6. Okay, here n is 6. What is a? That is x squared. And what is b here? Minus y, remember. Fine. Now you want to write which term? General term, that is in form of r. So tr plus 1, you know the formula. ncr into a raised to n minus r into b raised to r. What is n? 6. So 6cr. What is a? That is x square. X square raised to 6 minus r into b. What is b? Minus y raised to here r. So I can rewrite like this: 6cr. This is power of the power will be multiplied. So this is 12 minus 6r. Here you can write minus 1 raised to r into y raised to r. This is a constant. If you want, you can write in the beginning minus 1 raised to r to 6cr x raised to 12 minus r 6r, sorry here 2r, I'm sorry, that 2 will be multiplied with this. Please correct it. This is 2r into y raised to r. This is the general term, tr plus 1. What is tr plus 1 here? Tr plus 1 equals to minus 1 raised to r, it's a constant, I have taken outside. Here, this is nothing but the 6cr x raised to 12 minus 2r. This power and this will get multiplied, so 12 minus 2r. Here, this power is applied to minus 1, so minus 1 raised to r, y raised to r, remember. Everywhere you have into, remember. Right? That's obvious here. It's everywhere in the product. So this is a general formula. What about next question? It's the same question. वही है next में. Fourth question में. Just write n. What is n there? 12. What is a, which is x squared? What is b? b is nothing but what there? Minus yx, remember. Okay. Now I'm writing directly formula for what? tr plus 1. General term पूछा. tr plus 1 is equal to, directly I'm writing 12cr ncr. A means x squared. X squared raised to 12 minus r. This minus this ही होता है. Into b. What is b? Minus yx the whole raised to r. Fine. I have dropped one step. I have not written this step. Usually you should write that. Here I have dropped that. So 12cr. Here x raised to, what is this? Product of this two. That is 24 minus 2r. Here minus 1 raised to r into, what about this? Y raised to r into x raised to r. Now one more thing you can do. You can add both the powers of which variable? Variable x, remember. You can add both the powers of variable x. You see here and here at these two places you have variable x. So we can add the powers of variable x, and therefore the last step, if I write here, this is equals to 12cr into minus 1 raised to r, I am keeping as it is. Here power is 24 minus 2r, here power is r. If both the bases are same, you can add the exponents. ये दोनों का addition होगा. So कितना होगा? x raised to 24 minus 2r plus r. So it is just minus r into y raised to r. That is nothing but the final expression. I repeat what I did. See, 12 minus r into 2. So 24 minus 2r minus 1 raised to r I wrote here. Y raised to r into x raised to r. I've used this concept. If you have a into b the whole cube, you know you can write a cube into b cube. That power is applied to both in the product. Fine. Now two terms involving variable x. They are in product, you know, here everywhere your product. If bases are same, you can add the exponent. आप जानते, if you have x raised to 2 into x raised to 3, you can write what? X raised to 5, 2 plus 3. This what I've used here, right? So these two powers would be added here. So 24 minus r हो जाएगा, दोनों का addition करेंगे. Y raised to r as it is, minus 1 raised to r as it is, and 12cr as it is. Fine? Okay. Now, what about next? Next question. Question number 5, fifth question. Find the fourth term in the expansion of this. Fifth question, right? You are given some expression, you want T4. This is the question. Get T4. For which expression? You are given your x minus, you are given x minus 2y the whole raised to 12 in this expression. आपको T4 चाहिए. So you have prepared formula. What's ax? What's b? Minus 2y with minus sign. What's n? That's 12. Fourth term, you want t4. So you recall the formula for tr plus 1. Tr plus 1, you know, ncr a raised to n minus r into b raised to r. You know this. So t4, so r3 हो जाएगा, remember, n आपको पता है. So here 12 c3, one less. What is a? A is x. X 12 minus 3. I'll write directly here 12 minus 3. N is 12, R is 3, remember. So 9 into, what is this? This is minus 2y raised to 3. Fine. So आपको पूरा t4 पूछा है. So you need to simplify, remember. What's the simplification here? 12 factorial upon 9 factorial into 3 factorial. X raised to 9 as it is. This is nothing but, you know, minus 8, and this is y cube. Now this is 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 factorial. Will get cancelled. This is 6. Here into minus 8, x raised to 9 into y cube. So here, finally, let's simplify this. Minus sign is there. 6 2s are 12 here. You just multiply these two, so you'll get the with minus 1760, x raised to 9 as it is, y cube as it is. This is nothing but which form? t4, fourth term. Finally, if you are asked only coefficient of this, then you need to write this. You are not asked coefficient. You are asked entire which term? Fourth term, remember here. So it is minus 1760 into x raised to 9 into y cube. I hope this is now very clear to you. It's just a question of simplification, remember. Okay. What about next question? Here you want t13. We want what? t13 there. So your expression is 9x minus 1 upon 3 root x whole raised to 18. We want t13 as I told you. So here n is 18, a is 9x, and b is minus 1 upon 3 root x with minus sign. So write the formula for t13. You know it is NCR. N is 18 here. So 18C, 1 less. So here 12. A raised to, so a is 9x here. 18 minus 12, you know it is 6. B, what's B? Minus 1 upon 3 root x, the whole raised to this number, which is 12, remember. Right. Just recall this. I've used this. TR plus 1 equals to NCR, 1 less, A raised to N minus R into B raised to R. Now the question is just simplification. Okay, we'll just simplify. It's now simple algebra. This is the only important step, remember. So let's simplify this. What is this? 18 factorial upon 18 minus 12, which is 6 factorial into 12 factorial, into, what is this? 9 raised to 6 into x raised to 6. I've applied these powers to both as I've used number of times. Into, here, everything is into, you know. Minus 1 raised to 12, that is just 1, even power. This is 3 raised to 12. 3 raised to 12. And this is root x raised to 12. Fine. Individual power. I've applied this power to minus 1 raised to 12, which will be 1 even power. So this will be positive. 3 raised to 12, root x raised to 12. 9 raised to x, 9 raised to 6, x raised to 6. How do we simplify this? 18 factorial, you are going to write till 12. 18 into 17 into 6, 16 into 15 into 14 into 13, remember. And then 12 factorial will get cancelled. 6 factorial, you can write at least 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into what about 9 raised to 6? 9 raised to 6 I can write as what? 3 square raised to 6. It's like this, remember. 9 raised to 6 I can write 3 squared the whole raised to 6. And power of the power gets multiplied. So this is 3 raised to 12. So this one is 3 raised to 12. So you must have realized that will get cancelled with this. This x raised to 6 right now as it is. Upon, this is nothing but 3 raised to 12 as it is. What about this? This means x raised to half. What's the meaning of this? X raised to 1 by 2. Root means half power. And raised to 12. So what we'll get from this? 6. Fine. So now the question is just you simplify this carefully without mistake. This will get cancelled. Here. This will get cancelled. And simplify this. So you must get the constant value. How do we simplify this? You can see this is nothing but 6 3s are 18, so that will get cancelled with this. What about this? 5 3s are here 3. What about this? Here you can write at least 2, and here you can write 7. Here you can write how much? 2, and this is 8, and then one more time this is 4. So 17 into 4 into 3 into 7 into 13. That's your final answer. So you will get 18564. That's your final answer. 18564. Fine. That's T13. The only this step is important. This is just a simple algebra, remember. Okay, so in the 7th and 8th question, you want to get the middle terms in this expression here. So total terms would be 8 here. You know total terms equals to 7 plus 1, which is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can observe these are the two middle terms. Middle terms are this. This is which term? 4th. And then next, which is 5th. So you want to get T4 and T5. That's the question. What you need to find? To find now two middle terms, T4 and T5. So now it comes to question number 5 and 6. Or you can use this formula also. Alternatively, you would have done in this also. Middle terms equals to, this is odd number. So plus 1 by 2. And next, what is this? This is nothing 8 by 2, that is 4th. So next is 5th. So middle terms are 4th and 5th. This I did by formula. Here I just wrote by directly observation. Clear? So you want T4 and T5. Ultimately question is this. So now T4. What's the formula for T4? 7C3. 1 less, R plus 1 then R. A raised to, what is A? 3. 3 raised to difference of this 2. 7 minus 3, which is 4. B. What's B? Minus x cube by 6. The whole raised to, this number 3. Now you need to simplify this. Okay. So let's simplify this. This is 7 factorial upon 7 minus 3, which is 4 factorial into 3 factorial. 3 raised to 4 into, this is odd power, so minus 1 will be there. What about this? X raised to how much? X raised to 9 upon what we'll get here? 6 raised to 3, remember. 6 raised to 3. I've applied power to x, 3 3s are 9. 6 raised to 3 and minus 1 raised to 3, it's minus 1. Now simplification here, 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial, that will get cancelled with this. 4 factorial will get cancelled with this. 3 factorial is just 6. Let me keep 3 factorial right now, 3 raised to 4 as it is, minus 1 as it is, x raised to 9 as it is. This you can write as what? 6 is 3 into 2. So you can write 3 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 3. What I did, instead of 6, I wrote 2 into 3. Or you can write directly value of 6 raised to 3, remember, whichever way you do. That's not important, but you need to just simplify. So here if you simplify, you will get minus 105 upon 8 into x raised to 9. I wrote this directly. You just simplify, you'll get this. Minus 105 upon 8 into x raised to 9. Fine. This is T4. Same way you need to find about T5. Same way you need to find T5. What's the formula for T5? That is 7C 1 less 4. Then here A is 3. 3 raised to difference of these two. 7 minus 4, 3. Into B. What's B? Minus x cube by 6. The whole raised to, this number, that's 4. Sum of these two is always this number. Now simplification. 7c4 is same as 7c3, remember. So ultimately you will get these only. ये दोनों equally होता है, you must be knowing. 7c3 same as 7c4. So 7 into 6 into 5 upon 6. I wrote this directly. Into 3 cube as it is. This is even power. So minus 1 doesn't play any role. X raised to 12 here. Upon 6 raised to 4. So use calculator and you just simplify. X raised to 12 will be there. The simplification of this one gives us 35 by 48. I wrote this directly. So these are your two final answer. T4 is this. T5 is this, remember. Fine. So in the next question, again you want the middle term. Now this is even number. So total terms will be, here total terms in the expansion will be 11, 10 plus 1, 11 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So obviously 5, 5 on both the sides. So sixth, this will be the middle term. Only one term will be the middle term. Which one? This is nothing but the T6. 5 this side, 5 this side. So T6. Or you can do this way also. How do we get? If it is even number, you directly do half of it. So 10 by 2 plus 1th term. And what is this? 10 by 2 is 5 plus 1, which is 6th term. That's what I've written here. This I did by formula, remember. If you want to do this way, you can do this way. Otherwise, directly like this. So you want to get T6. What's the formula for this? NCR. So 10C, 1 less here, which is 5. A. What is A? X by 3. The difference of these two, 5. What is B? 9 into Y and this power. Now the question is just the simplification of this one. Okay, I'm sure this you can simplify very easily. So if I write one more step for you, 10 factorial upon 5 factorial into 5 factorial. This is x raised to 5 upon 3 raised to 5 into, this is 9 raised to 5 into y raised to 5. So simplify this one and this one. So I'll get this constant into x raised to 5 into y raised to 5. That's your final answer.